Morning. We are expecting William and Princess Kate to address the nation for the first time as king and queen. That will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
The world watched in stunned silence as Queen Catherine stepped onto the balcony of Buckingham Palace, her eyes glistening under the weight of a crown that felt both heavy and unforeseen. It was a moment etched in history, one that blended profound grief with quiet resolve. King Charles had fought valiantly against a barrage of illnesses that struck like a storm, but in the end his sudden departure left a nation mourning and a family forever changed. Queen Catherine's first coronation speech, delivered with a voice steady yet laced with emotion, ignited a media frenzy unlike any seen before. She spoke of legacy, of loss, and of the unbreakable bonds that would carry the monarchy forward. And then came the words that echoed around the globe. Princess Anne will be the right hand and support for our new reign. What did this mean for the future of the royal family? How had Charles' final battles shaped this pivotal moment? Stick with us as we dive deep into the story behind the speech, the tears, the triumphs, and the path ahead. And remember to subscribe for more insights into the royals' most heartfelt chapters. King Charles' reign began with promise of vision of a modern monarchy rooted in service and sustainability. But behind the public facade, a series of health challenges mounted like gathering clouds. It started subtly, with reports of fatigue from his tireless schedule, but escalated dramatically in early 2024 when a routine procedure for an enlarged prostate revealed something far more sinister, an undisclosed form of cancer. The palace shared glimpses of his resilience, how he continued duties amid treatments, drawing strength from his family and the nation. Yet, as 2025 dawned, additional complications arose: side effects from ongoing therapies, temporary hospitalizations, and whispers of other ailments compounded by his history of COVID battles and old sports injuries from polo days. He tried to hold on, pushing through public engagements with that signature determination. Insiders say he confided in close aides about his regrets, not just personal ones, like time lost with grandchildren, but broader ones about unfinished environmental initiatives and family reconciliations. Despite every effort, the illnesses converged, suddenly overwhelming his body in a way no one anticipated. His passing came swiftly in the quiet hours of a spring morning, leaving the British people in shock, and the world reflecting on a king who gave everything until the end. Queen Catherine, then the Princess of Wales, was thrust into the spotlight, her ascension a blend of sorrow and swift necessity. The media frenzy began almost immediately, headlines screaming about the unexpected transition and speculation swirling around how she would honour her father-in-law's legacy while forging her own path. In the days following King Charles' death, the United Kingdom draped itself in black, but also in quiet unity. Funeral processions wound through London streets lined with flowers and tributes echoing the outpouring scene for Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Catherine, visible in her grief yet composed, stood alongside Prince William, now King Consort William, and their children, offering waves and words of thanks to well-wishers. It was a time of reflection on Charles's contributions, his passion for organic farming, his advocacy for interfaith dialogue, and his subtle modernization of the crown. But amid the mourning preparations for the coronation, accelerated a ceremony steeped in centuries of tradition, but now infused with modern urgency. Westminster Abbey buzzed with activity, as planners wove in elements honouring Charles like floral displays from his beloved Highgrove Gardens. Queen Catherine, known for her poise under pressure, immersed herself in rehearsals, drawing on her years of public service. Friends close to the family revealed how she spent late nights poring over historical texts inspired by Queen Elizabeth II's 1953 coronation broadcast, where the late Queen spoke of unity and faith. Catherine wanted her speech to echo that sentiment, but with a personal touch, acknowledging the suddenness of the change. As the day approached, media outlets from BBC to international networks camped outside the palace, breathlessly reporting every detail. The frenzy built to a crescendo, with pundits debating what tone the new queen would strike. Would it be somber, forward-looking, or something in between? Little did they know the emotional core would revolve around a family pillar, Princess Anne. Coronation Day dawned crisp and clear, the streets of London alive with crowds waving flags and Union Jacks. Queen Catherine arrived in the gold state coach, a nod to history, her attire a blend of elegance and symbolism, featuring embroidery inspired by Charles's love of nature. Inside Westminster Abbey, the air hummed with ancient rituals, the anointing, the crowning, the oaths sworn before God and country. Drawing from historical precedents like George VI's heartfelt address in 1937, Catherine's ceremony included subtle modern twists, such as readings from environmental poets Charles admired. But it was the moment she ascended the throne, her hands steady on the scepter, that the weight of the occasion hit home. Insiders later shared how behind the scenes there were quiet tears, Catherine whispering to William about how Charles would have beamed with pride. The abbey echoed with hymns, and the Archbishop's words reminding all of the monarchy's enduring service. As the crown settled on her head, a collective breath was held, a new era beginning amid the echoes of the old. The media captured every angle, drones buzzing overhead, and commentators noting the poise that recalled her early speeches, like her first public address in 2012 at a children's hospice, where she spoke nervously yet sincerely about compassion. Here, though, the stakes were infinitely higher, and as she prepared for her balcony appearance, the speech loomed a chance to set the tone for her reign. Stepping onto the Buckingham Palace balcony flanked by her family, Queen Catherine faced a sea of faces, her voice carrying over the cheers via microphones and global broadcasts. She began with a poignant tribute to King Charles, recalling his battles not just with illness, but with causes close to his heart. "I stand here today humbled by the legacy of a man who fought tirelessly for our planet, our people and our family." She said, her tone warm yet resolute. Despite the many illnesses that converged upon him so suddenly, he held on with grace, determined not to burden us with worry. His regrets unspoken, yet felt deeply, remind us all to cherish every moment. The crowd fell silent, absorbing the raw honesty, a departure from scripted formality. Then came the line that sent shockwaves. "Princess Anne, my beloved aunt, will be the right hand and support for our new reign." It was a declaration of partnership, acknowledging Anne's long-standing role as the monarchy's steadfast supporter. Media outlets exploded with analysis, some calling it a masterstroke of unity, others speculating on how it addressed potential family rifts. Catherine continued weaving in themes of continuity, how Charles's vision for a slimmed-down monarchy would evolve under her watch, with Anne's experience guiding the way. She touched on personal anecdotes like family gatherings, where Charles's humour lightened heavy days, drawing from her own speeches on mental health, where she emphasised resilience. The speech clocked in at just under 10 minutes, but its impact lingered, evoking Elizabeth II's 1953 address, where she pledged lifelong service. As she concluded with a call for national healing, the applause was thunderous, the frenzy in full swing. Princess Anne has long been the unsung hero of the royal family, her diary packed with engagements, outpacing even the most dedicated. Known as the hardest-working royal, with over 200 appearances. In recent years, she supported her brother King Charles through thick and thin, from state visits to charity work. In the wake of his cancer diagnosis in 2024, Anne stepped up quietly, taking on extra duties while offering private counsel. Insiders describe her as the rock Charles leaned on, sharing late-night discussions about succession and sustainability. Now, with Queen Catherine's public endorsement, Anne's role crystallises as the right hand, a position blending advisor-confidant and public face. The speech highlighted this bond, Catherine praising Anne's wisdom and dedication qualities honed over decades. Remember Anne's key moments like leading the procession at Charles's funeral on horseback, a symbol of her military ties and unwavering loyalty. Media frenzy amplified this narrative with profiles dubbing her the new power behind the throne. Yet Anne remains grounded, her no-nonsense style complementing Catherine's empathetic approach. Together, they represent a blend of tradition and modernity, Anne's experience in areas like equestrian sports and rural affairs, meshing with Catherine's focus on early childhood and mental well-being. This partnership, born from loss, promises to stabilize the reign, addressing Charles's regrets by ensuring his initiatives live on through collaborative effort. Behind palace walls, the royal family's grief unfolded in private moments that mirrored the public's sorrow. Queen Catherine, ever the devoted mother, balanced her new duties with comforting her children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Sources close reveal how she drew strength from William's support, their partnership echoing the bond she described in past speeches like her World Mental Health Day address in 2023, where she spoke of vulnerability. The suddenness of Charles's passing due to converging illnesses left lingering regrets, family members wishing for more time to say goodbyes. Princess Anne played a crucial role here, offering anecdotes from her sibling bond with Charles to lighten the mood during family dinners. The coronation speech became a cathartic outlet. Catherine's words about Anne not just strategic, but deeply personal, acknowledging how Anne had been a mentor figure since her entry into the family. Media captured glimpses of this emotion, like Catherine's subtle glance toward Anne on the balcony, a gesture speaking volumes. The frenzy extended to speculation about family dynamics, but positives emerged stories of unity, such as joint visits to Charles's favourite gardens, where they planted trees in his memory. This transformation from private mourning to public resolve mirrors historical shifts like after George VI's death, when Elizabeth II ascended young and determined. For Catherine, it marks a personal evolution from Duchess to Queen, her speech a bridge between past pains and future hopes. Queen Catherine's coronation speech was far from an impromptu moment. It represented the peak of meticulous weeks-long preparation, blending her evolving public persona with heartfelt authenticity. From the outset of her royal journey, Catherine has been known for a speaking style that prioritizes warmth, relatability, and emotional depth, qualities that have matured significantly over the years. Early on, she admitted to nerves during public addresses, but through dedicated effort, including reported elocution lessons to refine her diction and poise, she transformed into a confident orator whose voice now carries a polished yet approachable tone. Speech experts have noted this shift, observing how her accent has naturally evolved to sound even more refined, drawing comparisons to the royal family's storied communicators. This preparation for the coronation drew on that foundation, with Catherine immersing herself in a rigorous process that included drafting multiple versions to ensure every word resonated personally and nationally. Her signature style, evident in past milestones, shines through in how she infuses speeches with genuine empathy, much like her 2017 address at the launch of the Out of the Blue art exhibition, where she highlighted creativity's role in mental health recovery, speaking with a blend of vulnerability and encouragement that connected deeply with audiences. Advisors played a key part, pulling from historical precedents, such as Queen Elizabeth II's iconic 1953 coronation broadcast, which emphasized themes of gratitude, duty, and forward-looking vision elements Catherine mirrored to honor tradition while adapting to modern sensibilities. To make it uniquely hers, she wove in personal touches, direct quotes from King Charles's writings on environmental stewardship, pulled from his books like Harmony, and intimate anecdotes from her time supporting him through his treatments, recalling quiet family moments where his wisdom shone through despite his pain. These weren't just embellishments, they served to humanise the monarchy, addressing the regrets he left behind by pledging continued action on his causes. Catherine's tone has seen a remarkable evolution from her tentative beginnings. Recall her very first royal speech in March 2012 at the opening of the Treehouse Children's Hospice in Ipswich, where she delivered a short, simple message of thanks while visibly nervous, reading closely from notes to avoid slips. Back then, body language experts pointed out subtle signs of anxiety like clasped hands or brief pauses, but fast forward to today, and she's mastered a steady, confident delivery as seen in her 2023 World Mental Health Day speech, where she spoke openly about vulnerability without hesitation. For the coronation rehearsals became a family affair with Princess Anne, offering insights on emphasising continuity and historical ties, drawing from her own decades of public service. While King Consort William focused on preserving emotional authenticity, ensuring the words felt raw and real rather than rehearsed rhetoric. Close aides revealed late-night sessions where Catherine practiced in front of mirrors, timing her pauses for impact and adjusting phrasing to evoke shared healing. The end result was a speech that bridged intimacy and grandeur, shunning overly formal pomp in favour of relatable storytelling that drew listeners in as if conversing over tea. Media outlets erupted in praise, fueling the ongoing frenzy by hailing her as a modern monarch who confronts personal and national regrets head-on, like Charles' unfinished dreams of a greener world, which she vowed to pursue with renewed vigour. Her deliberate nod to Princess Anne wasn't accidental. It underscored a supportive network designed to combat the isolation often inherent in royalty, showcasing a collaborative spirit that promises to define her era. This approach not only honoured Charles's legacy, but set a bold precedent for her reign, one where speeches inspire collective action, foster empathy, and pull the nation closer in times of transition, proving that true leadership speaks from the heart. As royal watchers reflect on this pivotal address, it's clear Catherine's preparation has elevated her from a once shy duchess to a queen whose words will echo for generations. As the echoes of Queen Catherine's speech fade, the monarchy steps into uncharted territory shaped by Charles's legacy and Catherine's vision. His battles with illnesses serve as a reminder of human fragility, prompting palace initiatives on health awareness, perhaps expanding Catherine's early years' work to include family resilience. Charles' lifelong dedication to environmental causes, from advocating for organic farming at Highgrove House to launching the Sustainable Markets Initiative and the Terra Carta in 2021, leaves an indelible mark. These efforts aimed at accelerating global sustainability through private sector action now inspire ongoing palace projects like promoting renewable energy and biodiversity protection, ensuring his passion for the planet endures even after his passing. Catherine, drawing from her own experiences as a mother, builds on this by integrating health themes into her flagship Shaping Us campaign, launched in 2023, which emphasises the first 5 years of life as crucial for mental and physical well-being. This initiative, backed by the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, seeks to transform societal attitudes through research and awareness, potentially leading to new policies on parental support and child development. Princess Anne's elevated role ensures stability. Her expertise in patronages like the Olympics, where she serves as president of the British Olympic Association, and Save the Children, of which she has been president since 1970, complementing new priorities. Anne's involvement with over 300 charities, including Riding for the Disabled Association, and her history as an Olympic equestrian competitor herself, position her perfectly to guide athletic and humanitarian efforts. Her no-nonsense approach, honed through decades of service, including international visits and support for causes like the World Horse Welfare, will help steer collaborative ventures, blending Charles' environmental ethos with Catherine's focus on youth. Together, they could spearhead programs like expanded mental health resources for young athletes or sustainable community gardens for families fostering a holistic approach to royal philanthropy. The media frenzy has shifted from shock to optimism, with polls showing high approval for Catherine's approachable style, reminiscent of her Heads Together mental health campaign in 2016, which she co-founded to reduce stigma and promote early intervention. Recent surveys indicate over 70% of the public views her reign positively, praising her emphasis on relatable issues like maternal mental health through partnerships with the Maternal Mental Health Alliance. Regrets from Charles's era, like environmental goals unfinished, now fuel action joint efforts with Anne, leading sustainability drives, such as continuing the Terra Carta's pledges for net zero transitions and supporting global awards for eco-innovators in his memory. Family dynamics strengthened too, with plans for more public unity events honouring Charles' perhaps annual tree planting ceremonies at Highgrove, or interfaith dialogues. He championed drawing in younger royals like Prince George and Princess Charlotte to carry the torch. Catherine's reign promises balanced tradition with innovation, much like her speech blended grief with hope, incorporating modern elements such as digital health platforms from her Mentally Healthy Schools program while upholding ceremonial duties. As she navigates this new chapter, her commitment to preventative care could lead to groundbreaking collaborations with experts from Harvard's Center on the Developing Child, expanding her influence globally. With Anne as her steadfast ally, the monarchy looks set to evolve into a beacon of resilience and progress, addressing contemporary challenges head-on. What was your favourite part of Queen Catherine's speech? Share in the comments and subscribe for updates on the royals' evolving story. Up next, another royal revelation that might just inspire.